Rusty Quill presents.
Welcome to Ain't Slayed Nobody. This is an actual play podcast intended for adults, and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode notes for content warnings, and listen with care.
Okay, we are back with the Between, getting ready to kick off a day phase. We had a really, really eventful night. Lots of things happened, and we're going to talk about that stuff. I do think that we're going to say that a vague number of days has passed since the events of the last night phase, and we've seen some changes in those days since, related to the various threats and what happened with them last time. Probably, well, not most significantly, but of great importance to the city, is the fact that the creature of Cremorne Gardens showed itself quite publicly and attacked, or at least threatened and menaced, a very large group of people. There was an attempt by Ms. Archer to get hands on this thing that didn't quite work out, but it is now the talk of the whole city. For the last few days, no one has been able to stop talking about this creature that appeared, and the whole city is caught in the grip of this fishman mania right now. Everyone is super into this. Everyone wants to see it. There's rumors spreading around, about it. I want to do sort of a paint the scene about this, just to sort of memorialize what's going on in the city. What sorts of things have you seen, heard, or otherwise been witness to that show how this fishman thing is taking off in the city and becoming something of an obsession?
Someone's already managed to put out a penny dreadful cashing in on it.
There are rumors that he's come up and is snatching people's babies, so people are keeping their children indoors more often.
People are walking around in homemade costumes, trying to look like the creature and scare people, play pranks.
It's become fashionable to rip or somehow sully an article of clothing to claim that you were attacked by the fishman.
Brilliant.
Good.
Perfect.
So all of this is probably not making your investigation into this matter any easier. So that's the creature of Cremorne Gardens. We still have to figure out whether there's actually a fish creature or if this is a hoax. We don't know yet, but you have a load of clues on it. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9 clues so far. We also have the Pinkerton. Now this is really interesting because the Pinkerton is currently being held prisoner by Mr. Kessler in a room at the Langham Hotel, the nicest hotel in the city. That's still the case in modern day London. So for several days of hotel fees now, the Pinkerton has been trapped by Mr. Kessler. Mr. Kessler, I'm going to give you just a general sort of information move to account for what you might have learned from him in these days. And then if you want to go back and actually explore his room at the Langham or whatever, you can do that as well. But for now, I would like to know just a little bit of how that's going. What has been going on? What's that situation been like?
I'm imagining it I'm trying to interrogate him, and he's probably not very cooperative. So I've tried to bring him better and better hotel food, trying to get him to loosen up a little bit. But he's tied to a chair in the room. And I don't know how to work this in, Jason, but I'd like to take his clothing so that I can impersonate him around town, because I found something about the bank transfer. So I'm poking at him. I'm like, oh, so you're into some smuggling here, huh? I see you got some rubies. I found those rubies on him. Yeah. So just prodding him, trying to get any information I can.
I like that. You could go ahead and make an information move just to represent the last few days of having him held captive. You can go ahead and make that with, we'll say presence.
Okay. That's 8.
Okay. We'll revisit that later. Okay, so we do have a couple of threats that were resolved. In a way, one was resolved and one is just no longer active. The first that was resolved is the St. James's Street ghost. Mr. Melmoth managed to convince the ghost to come take up residence in Hargrave House in the form of this possessed porcelain doll. I'd like to paint the scene again. You had a few days to get accustomed to the presence of this ghost in Hargrave House. How has it changed the atmosphere, or how have you otherwise experienced the spectral presence of this ghost in a place like Hargrave House?
I think our dog, the beagle, just sits and stares at the porcelain doll all day, and Roland stares at the dog staring at the porcelain doll.
The ghost probably gets a little restless, and so sometimes inhabits, like, not in any really effective way, because sometimes inhabits other items, and so like a little gravy tureen goes hopping across a table, and you're just like, God damn it! Fucking get back in the doll!
Moyra is so hung up on the fact that it's in this like doll's shape that she's just been trying to play games with it for the entirety of its inhabiting the house, and just is convinced that we're playing hide and seek, and then like tries throwing a ball to it. It doesn't really work. Whatever she can get, she's like, finally someone in this house will like have some fun with me.
And Mr. Melmoth has decided to treat the doll like an honoured guest and has sent out for one of the finest dressmakers in London to create a whole new wardrobe for her.
Oh, I love it. The other threat, our miniature but very, very old vampire, 3/4 of Hargrave House believes that the vampire has been convinced to leave London. Congratulations, Ms. Innes, on your effective negotiating skills with the vampire. In fact, Ms. Innes and Mr. Kessler inadvertently conspired to not only allow the vampire to stay in London, but to come under the protective wing of Mrs. Brathwaite as well. And so, Ms. Innes, you don't even know that bit about Mrs. Brathwaite, and the rest of you think the vampire's gone. So, I'm sure that's going to not be an issue in the future. But in any case, it's no longer something you have to investigate.
Yeah, he told me he wouldn't kill innocents, so, I'm kind of okay with that. Some humans deserve what they have coming.
He's like Dexter.
Indeed.
I mean, if you can't trust an ancient vampire, who can you trust?
As ever, we will introduce a brand new threat at the top of the day phase here. Our new threat is called Figs Pigs. Mr. Melmoth, the Fig family sent you one of their famous Figs Pigs, a pie with a little pig stamped on the crust. You enjoyed the first few bites before realizing it contained human meat. What gave it away?
Just in the midst of it all was a perfectly shaped fingernail.
Indeed. You called Scotland Yard. Now that you have something of a pleasant relationship with D.I. Pettigrew, or at least you're a little bit of a détente, I think, with D.I. Pettigrew, if I remember correctly.
The last time we had a scene together, I was stepping over his unconscious body to go back into the house in St. James's Street.
Exactly, yes. Yes. You're still alive, though, which means he did his job. So, in any case, faced with Cannibal Pie Maker, you did call Scotland Yard. Mr. Fig was arrested. His wife and 2 sons, however, managed to escape capture. Mr. Fig is being held at Bethlehem Royal Hospital. He won't tell the inspectors anything about where his family might be, though he has been singing a little song about them. It goes like this. Sing a song of 3 figs, the apples of my eye, snatch a bunch of long pigs and bake them into pies. First comes little Patrick about on paw or hoof. He thinks he's an animal and has since troubled youth. Obert the Blade has fine taste, more than most I know. It has to be the right pig, see? The meat must be just so. My love, la bella Hortensia, the gravy to my crust, to hold that which she loved and lost. She'll do as she must. Sing a song of 3 figs, their names you all now know. You'll see them down old London town, and in the sack you'll go. Amazingly, Scotland Yard has asked for Hargrave House's help in capturing the figs. They want to keep the investigation of the figs pie shop in Shoreditch fairly quiet, without official police presence, so as not to set off a pie hysteria throughout the city. Can have a pie hysteria and a fishman hysteria. You have come to the conclusion that Mr. Figs' song is a guide of sorts for how to find the other figs. It has helped you form some questions, the answers to which will lead to their capture. So there are 3 questions. They are each a complexity 2. You can resolve 2 of them in the day, but to resolve the entire mystery, you have to resolve the 3rd one at night. So you have to answer and resolve all 3. The first is, what kind of animal does Patrick Fig think he is? The opportunity is to lure the animal out in the open and then capture or destroy it. The next question, what type of victim does Obert Fig prefer? Lure Obert Fig to you and then capture or destroy him. And finally, what did La Hortensia Fig lose that she's trying to recapture or remember? Find La Hortensia and then capture or destroy her. So, 3 questions, 3 figs. They're out on the loose.
Incredible.
You have a couple of leads. You have access to the pie shop. Scotland Yard will get you access to the pie shop. They know you're working on this, and they're going to do their best to help you. You have access to Mr. Fig if you need it, over at Bedlam. And so, that is your next threat. A joint operation.
A collab.
Taking a look at the hunters, actually, you're all doing okay on conditions. Mad Dog, you can clear drained. I think enough time has passed. Everybody else just has 1 or 2. And so conditions are not too horrible. If you need to reset your dawn questions, you can do that now as well. Otherwise, I'm going to go around the table and see what everyone is interested in doing. I'll start with Mr. Melmoth.
Would it be fair to say that having resolved the situation at St. James's Street means that I'm no longer marked by the ghost, or is it more interesting if I still am?
I think it's more interesting if you still are, because the ghost is in the house now.
Yes.
So
I am all for that. In which case, I do feel rather like Sebastian has missed out on all the fun at Cremon Gardens. And it does seem like his kind of place. So I'm not sure what he's going to be able to add to the investigation other than the magnificence of his presence, but he is going to quite happily just wander around there for the day and see what he can find.
Lots to see and do.
Could we answer a question for the Cremorne Gardens before?
I think you probably ought to get that initial question off the table, right?
Yeah, that way, you can unlock something else.
You have currently, let's see, 9 clues, which is a lot, especially for this complexity 4 question. You obviously don't need to use them all. Is the creature real or is it a hoax? Does anyone have any thoughts?
They're both interesting. I don't think I'd be disappointed with either.
What if it's a little bit of both?
Yes.
What if there is a creature, because the scrimshaw suggests that there was something, right? But then the guy who's running the gardens maybe he's fallen on hard financial times, and so he's like, okay, a way to drum up business would be to create this hoax. And so there is a real supernatural threat, and then also these fucking knuckleheads doing
But it sounds like the question of, is the thing real or not? You're saying, yes, it is a real fish man.
There is a real fishman out there. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I kind of like that, and then there's just some businesses capitalizing on marketing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because if I'm remembering correctly, the night that Viola was on the dance floor and the fishman appeared, there was one guy that looked surprised, or somebody registered, or I'm trying to remember. What I'm wondering is if Like, that one was a real guy, and then all the other attacks have been, like, fake guys. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that would be interesting, too. Yeah. Intriguing.
Because there's also the clue that there's a guy who saw a creature before, but not at Cremorne Gardens. Like, the creature exists, just not right here. Like, what's been happening here has been kind of...
the fakey shit.
Yeah.
And Moyra doesn't sense creatures in the nearby waters, so...
Yeah.
Oh, so then we're saying it's a hoax, then.
Mostly hoax, but it does exist.
It's just not in Cremorne Garden.
This specific one is not at Cremorne Gardens.
We need this creature to exist, Jason.
Or it could be that Moira's presence in the water there has actually attracted the real one.
Ooh.
After all this time with someone dicking around pretending to be one.
Oh.
I like that. Yeah.
That's very intriguing as well. Well, the question is the creature real or is it a hoax?
Yes.
Nevertheless, the question remains. The one that attacked Beulah Thrum, is that one real or a hoax? That's what we want to know.
I think that one was a hoax because of the rubber smell before the attack.
Okay. Got it.
With an asterisk.
So then the rubber smell, we're saying that indicates that it's some sort of suit. Mm-hmm. Any other clues you think push heavily towards that one being fake?
The noise it makes.
Yeah, this person squeaking in terror.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. That's 2 clues.
I think Thomas Simpson having a lot of debt would be an explanation as to why he might perpetrate a hoax like this.
Oh, I see.
I'm also kind of assigning this to him, so...
Yeah.
It's probably medical debt from the gunshot wound, right?
Wow. How ironic.
And do you think he has, like, a deal with the Wax Museum because they're, like, getting money off of this?
Oh, yeah. Another collab. Collabs all over the city. I love it. Very good. Those are all really solid. Do you want to throw another clue in there, work it in there just to see if it helps?
There's Moira not having sensed a creature in the nearby waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, I think it's probably the most solid one. Yeah.
This is just a straight roll. Okay, here we go.
Just +1. Yep.
Come on. Please.
Ooh.
That's a 12.
Ooh, a 12. Interesting. On a 12 plus, you're correct, and the resolution of the threat, Mrs. Brathwaite will be there for that. So that is what you get on a 12 plus.
Oh my god.
Excellent.
You still have 4 clues, which is a good amount. Your next question that you've opened up now is, who's perpetrating the hoax and why? And that's a complexity 4.
Damn it. We used the clues.
Yeah.
And you resolve the threat by laying a trap for the perpetrator and unmasking them. So it's a full-on Scooby-Doo moment here at the end.
Hell yes.
Okay, I mean, we can manipulate these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that little girl singing a weird song, she could be his niece, advertising all of this. She's in on the shtick.
She could be drinking the green bile. I mean, there's so much we could work with here.
God. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't gather a few more clues before doing it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Indeed. It is also a complexity 4.
Nice. Yeah, because now, like, the investigation can go more towards the dude instead of the thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Could I also ask a threat question? Do we know how old the kids are in Fig's Pigs?
Yeah, they're all like adult, like young adult age.
Oh, okay.
I was asked for content warnings.
Can we put them in peril?
So we know what Mr. Melmoth's doing then. Ms. Innes, what's your day look like?
This is like such a cop-out, but I think she's just going to follow wherever Mr. Kessler goes.
Interesting. Mr. Kessler?
That could work because I think I'm going to the docks.
Oh, okay.
To, dig up some scoop on this Pinkerton. Because I found the rubies. I think he's smuggling.
Oh.
He's involved in some kind of smuggling business.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let me give you your clue that you're owed from that, because that might help focus you a little bit.
Okay, maybe I won't go to the docks.
What was the level of, like, interrogation going on here.
I think it actually started harsher than it became because he was trying to kind of threaten him at first. And then I think he kind of loosened up trying to get on him at a different level, like as a buddy.
Yeah, good.
We're Americans.
I think the thing that you're going to discover is he has on his person a collection of forged traveling papers. For a number of countries, a number of identities, a number of people. And if you press him on that, he'll simply say he has lots of different investigations he has to do while he's over here on the other side of the Atlantic. So
Right. The bank transfer to a business in London, do I know what business that is?
I think you can give it context whenever you get ready to answer the question if you want. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm worried that my investigation might be aimless, just going to the docks disguised as him. But we'll just see. Maybe somebody will approach me.
There is going to be a complication in the finding of that last clue since you got a 7 to 9, but I'm not revealing it yet, though.
Oh, amazing. Yes.
Oh, and maybe you also got this information out of him. You learned that he's been kind of hanging out at Chelsea Harbor or something.
Yeah, so I'll go down to Chelsea Harbor wearing my kind of Pinkerton disguise, and I'm just gonna, I might rough some people up. Who knows? We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. All right, I'm into that. And Moyra, you're following Mr. Kessler?
And I'm going to follow him because I'm curious. Do we know that you have him in a hotel?
Do I know that you're following me? Are we going together, or are you, literally following me, tailing me?
I think I'm attempting to tail you.
Okay, yeah, then you don't know because we haven't talked about it.
Okay.
You might wonder why I'm dressed like a Pinkerton agent.
Yes, that is, I think, why she's following you.
Yes.
Very good. Ms. Archer, what are you up to?
I have a question. Is the closed door a condition that I can clear?
Yes.
Okay, I would love to do I was going to say an industrial scene, but that's not the right word. Instead, it's the vulnerable? Yes, a vulnerable move. I would like to do a vulnerable move with someone. Does anyone seek to clear a condition?
I want to keep mine, but it doesn't mean we wouldn't share a scene with you.
Sure.
You can still find a clue or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I just need to know whose vice is in play and what the scene is.
My first inclination was that she would probably be super frustrated. So she's been interviewing people about the creature at Cremorne Gardens, and there are so many people pretending to have been attacked that she just gets she's probably had some roughing up of just random citizens for basically lying. And so she's abandoned that. She's frustrated. She's frustrated by this stupid doll that keeps appearing randomly around corners. And so she's definitely attached a bell to the doll. So I think that she's just she's frustrated, and she would have approached Mr. Kessler and been let's spar. She just wants to fucking fight for a little bit. Just punch, if that's okay.
I like to imagine that I didn't quite catch that and I just turn around and get punched.
Mr. Kessler! And then just...
Because I was very focused on trying to become this Pinkerton agent. But maybe it's easier to rough me up when I'm dressed as a Pinkerton. You have the motive.
Yeah, or if it's beforehand. I feel like this is great because I think all of this adds to why Miss Innes is what is going on? And is just watching the whole time.
Yeah. But yeah, once you realize what you're doing, he'll fight back like we did before.
And the person whose vice is in play, they get to discover the clue?
You can choose to either discover a clue or you can invite Mr. Kessler to ask you a question about the past.
We can do confessing sins. Or if you want to do your gambling, we could put money on. If I can get you on the ground first, then you owe me.
Well, it's not the seedy underbelly. Does it count, Jason? Because we're in the Hargrave house.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We can do confessing sins. Yeah. So I think that they're just sparring. Maybe they're in the basement again, where you had been chained up. And, it's just maybe dark and I don't know. They're just kind of, it's a Fight Club kind of situation is the vibe that I feel like. Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, she's just she's not holding back. She's really kind of going at it. And as she's fighting, she's just talking. These stupid, why are they pretending? Why is it fashionable to be attacked? What are they thinking? Don't they understand that there's a real threat out there? And just kind of going through all this stuff. And I think eventually as she gets exhausted and she's being less filtering of the things that she's saying, she starts talking about how, and I can't seem to fucking remember anything. I know that I'm mad. I know that, but I can't seem to remember my parts of my past. And I need those. Because I need to stay angry. I need to remember what my family has done. I need to hold on to that because that is what allows me to keep at this. And she's just getting angrier and angrier and just fucking punching all that I've done.
I'm not a good listener when I'm getting my ass kicked.
Well, you're going to have to try harder. All the blood that I've spilled, all the people that I've lost, all the things that have happened, all of this has to be worth something. I need these memories. And she's just like, oh man, if you cannot defend yourself, like, you are getting your ass handed to you.
Well, he made the mistake of play fighting at first, and now he's like in a bad position.
And now your nose is bleeding.
But he assumes this is because you know his secret, that you're taking it out on him because he's a monster, right? So how does this work? Do I tee up a question to you, or are we doing a clue thing?
I feel like clues are helpful.
It's a good feeling.
I think you make the strong case for clearing your condition, though, Miss Archer.
Thank you.
The locked door is knocked open by a roundhouse punch.
I'll keep mine. Maybe that cleared drained.
Yeah, very precisely. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to stumble on a clue. I love that. Is there anything else you want to do in this scene before you tell me what the clue is?
No. But then also the rest of the day, I think that she would want to resolve this thing with Albertina Welk, and then also frustrated with Cremorne Gardens, she wants to put her attention someplace else. I think that the idea of finding this one fig who thinks he's a beast is very close to her skill set. So she's like, yes, this is a home run. I'm going to go do this and make myself feel better.
I love it. Well, so where are you going to go, though? To the pie shop, or?
Let's go talk to D.I. Pettigrew. Let's go see what they've discovered.
I think you know everything they know already.
Oh, okay.
They brought the case to you.
Then you know what? Pie shop. That sounds more fun. Let's go to the pie shop.
Fantastic. Let's pick up with Mr. Melmoth. Mr. Melmoth, we do have some places in Cremorne Gardens that we have not seen yet, if you're interested.
Oh, yes.
There's the banqueting hall. There is the hedge maze. There is this, like, little adjacent sort of artist conclave, chain walk, which is interesting. So, what do you do?
Sebastian isn't really the investigating type. So I think rather than this being a methodical attempt to go out and get information, he's just going to swan around chain walk for a little bit and see the interesting people there, strike up a few conversations, or at least wait for people to strike up conversations with him, as they inevitably do, and see where the day takes him.
Previously, we had actually seen a little bit of chain walk, because that's where Ms. Innes was painted by James Whistler, if I remember correctly. And you do see some of the things we described last time. You know, we see people like, you know, painting and kind of very publicly, performatively composing poetry on the street. And there is the smell of coffee houses and that sort of thing. Of course, there's a harbor very nearby as well. And so it's a busy street. It's an up and coming place. There will be future happenings here, to be sure. Right now, however, you see a woman standing on a corner, and her jacket is shredded, and she says, "Help! Help! I've just been attacked by the fishman! I've just been attacked by the fishman of Cremorne Gardens! Help me, please!" What do you do?
I'll walk somewhere in her direction. Just look her up and down. And sigh theatrically.
The fishman runs out of the alley, except if you believe Ms. Archer's previous version of what the fishman looks like, this is not it. The costume is really bad. It's basically just a sort of like kind of badly made paper mache fish mask with undergarments that have been dyed green and sort of big rubbery mitts, and it leaps out, and it's like, I am the fishman of the deep. Come to me, back to my watery realm. What do you do now?
I'll just look round at the woman and at the fishman and say, while I do applaud your efforts, would you accept some constructive criticism?
And the woman says, Sir, can't you see? I'm trying to escape this monstrosity. Please, I need your help, not your criticism.
We can both see what a shoddy work this costume is, and I simply thought that if you wanted to entice other people to follow you down a dark alley or whatever it is that you're aiming to do here, you might benefit from some advice about how to better improve that. Honestly, the aesthetic that you've captured there is... I suppose I have to give you points for ingenuity, but the overall effect is subpar.
The fishman's shoulders slump. And he just turns around and walks back into the alley. No. And the woman in the shredded jacket, she says... Well, thank you, sir, thank you. And she throws herself on you around the crowd. My hero.
Madam, I offered you advice, not intimacy.
And I think she can read the coldness in your voice. And she gets a look of sudden fear.
You see... What I think is lacking in your costume is there isn't a real sense of distress there. Let's ignore your companion for a moment and just concentrate on the fact that these are clearly cuts in your clothing. They do not look like they've been done by claws. And I'll start just ripping her clothes further. And of course... if you had been gouged by claws, there would be considerably more blood, wouldn't there? I'm sure, with the ingenuity that you've shown so far, perhaps you have a pair of scissors about your person with which you've distressed that costume.
She does, yeah.
Why don't you just add a little more authenticity to it?
She takes out the scissors. You have read her very well. And she undoes the scissor in her hand so that it's open. And she has a tentative look on her face, almost like she's asking for permission or confirmation that she's doing the right thing right now.
A few superficial wounds will do the job.
Make the day move. What are you afraid is going to happen right now if this goes badly?
I'm afraid that she'll hurt herself more than she needs to please me.
Roll with presence.
Well, I rolled a 3. And even with the +3, that's only a 6.
She makes one bad cut on her wrist, and the blood spatters out. She drops the scissors, and she falls to her knees in front of you, her blood spurting out of her wrist. And she's actually squeezing her arm, which makes it actually spurt. And she says, my mother always said I would have a bad end. But I'm at least glad that it will happen like this, in front of you. And she's just gonna die at your feet, Mr. Melmoth.
She wouldn't be the first, but I still feel like I should probably use a mask here to stop this happening.
Indeed. It's up to you.
I'm so shocked that you're stopping this.
I was genuinely trying to be helpful.
You could probably parlay this into an accidental taketh away, right? I mean, in a sense.
No, I'm going to save the taketh away for people who actually deserve it. So I am going to use a mask here to save this woman's life.
We'll come back to the scene in a moment. Mr. Kessler, you're down at Chelsea Harbor. You're actually not too far from where Mr. Melmoth is right now, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Well, I think first, since I'm dressed like a Pinkerton with my badge on, I'm going to see if anybody's taking like a special interest in me as I kind of walk back and forth along the docks.
Sure.
And if they do, I'm going to seek them out.
Make the information move with composure.
Okay.
Can I just say, I have a really large hat on, and I'm holding like flowers in front of me as I like walk behind corners and stalls.
It's going to be Moyra that I notice. 5.
5. Did you take the move where you get the disguises?
I did, yes. I checked one of them to take the Pinkerton disguise.
Because I think you get to mark that and get advantage if you want.
Yeah, so I will check that. All right, let's do that. Oh, fuck. Didn't get any better.
Mr. Kessler, you're approached by a sailor.
Mm-hmm.
A sailor you don't recognize, a Chinese sailor. And he says, "Excuse me, sir, I don't mean to bother you this afternoon, but I was wondering if you could help me with something."
Oh, it's no bother. Sure, what is it? I've got a little bit of time.
Well, there's a woman, a beautiful woman who's following you, doing a very bad job trying to not be seen. And I've seen her before, and I'm curious if you know who she is, or well, I think me noticing her, tracking you, I think it's all meant to be.
Oh, I think I know who it is. Was she wearing like blue sapphire?
It's her right there, and he just points at Moyra.
Moyra jumps into the water.
Yes.
He says, "Did you? She just jumped into the water."
Oh,
that matches up with everything I know about her.
Well, she's my housemate. That's why she was following me, I imagine. I'm late on my chores.
Oh, so the two of you are.
Oh, no, we're not. We're not romantic at all.
Oh, good. Oh,
I'm not ruling it out. No, we're not.
Well, what? Who is she?
He has like a moment. He's usually like very, shoots from the hip, says whatever is on his mind, but he's thinking, is it bad if I tell this guy who she is? He's a little worried about that. I think since I failed, in the spirit of failing the role, I'll say, well, her name's Moyra, and she's great. I mean, she's a real sweetheart. Why are you so interested, if I can ask?
He says, I saw her. I saw her over where my ship is anchored. I've seen her several times. I think she goes into the water, and I think she's a creature from the deep. I've heard stories of such.
Oh.
Sailors talk about these things all the time, but you never think they're real, but I think maybe she is one such creature. Do you know that?
He's gonna like pull his coat back and put his hand on his gun and say, "No, she's no creature from the deep. You didn't see nothing like that."
And he kind of backs up and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry." His hands are up. I think maybe I've overstepped here or something.
You have, but where I come from, we don't take kindly to gossip like that. I mean, you're going to try to sully her good name? I don't think so. He's stepping closer to him as he's backing away.
He backs up and he says, could you give this to her? And he's done a little sketch.
Oh, he'll rip it from his hands.
Give this to her, and you'll never hear from me again.
Oh. What'd you say your name was, sailor?
He says, Lynn Bohai.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it to her, I guess. That's fine. Well, I got business to attend to. He kind of looks down to his shiny badge.
What's the likelihood of me being able to hear everything like under the dock?
I'm into it if you want to, if we think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I almost imagine Roland realizing that she's under the dock and like sliding the paper through the the slits between the boards.
And the thing is, I'm not a seal right now, so I'm just in the water.
No, you got to jump. Try to propel yourself with your legs.
Just like long hair, like dress, like.
I like the idea of fast forwarding in a moment just to see the two of you like just sitting on a pylon or something, like talking about what just happened. I think that would be great.
Oh yeah,
Miss Archer, you have access to the pie shop in Shoreditch. In fact, there's probably like a constable or a patrolman of some sort there ready to let you in. They're expecting somebody from Hargrave House to come by. And so getting into the pie shop is no trouble at all. It's obviously closed down for business. There's a sort of front area where they serve customers. There's a back area where they actually make the pies. There is stairs that go down into what is some sort of basement type situation. And then there's stairs that go up into a flat where the Figs actually live.
That's where she's headed, to their living space.
When you go up to the flat, it's maybe not the kind of space you would expect a bunch of cannibal pie makers to live. It's a space with, the rooms have very comfortable looking beds. There's very delicate cream colored wallpaper. There's still a quite lovely smell of lemon and mint. It's a smell that definitely is a good reprieve from the smell of like burnt flour downstairs. Let's paint the scene, everyone. Based off what Ms. Archer is seeing in the Figs' home, the Figs were a loving family. How do we know this?
They have tons of family photos, all of which they all like genuinely look like, because like Victorian photos, my imagining of them is that they're kind of stiff and like people tend not to smile and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't take photos easily, so they were always very serious,
Yeah. But in these photos, they're smiling as though they were enjoying the time sitting for the photos together.
Mm.
I think there are going to be markings on the wall where they measured the kids' heights and with the year, but then as they reached adulthood, they still do it. The line's just at the same spot every year, and they just kind of write the years.
There's a sort of a stitched sampler in the dining room with just a very simple Bless This House sampler with a floral border around it. It would look absolutely twee if you didn't realise it was in the house that belonged to cannibals.
I think there's like a big wardrobe or cabinet that's like the memories cabinet, and you can see that it's all like little mementos from different like points in their lives that they wanted to celebrate of each other, and they just like have it all commemorated here. And maybe some of those mementos, if we knew what they were from, not so nice, but to them, they're really special.
Well, Miss Archer, what do you do?
She's specifically going to try to find young Patrick. And she knows that there is some sort of association with the, about on paw or hoof. So what she's looking for is things that would be in a space where an animal lived. So not necessarily fur, but like if you had a dog, there would be dog toys. There would be a food dish. You know what I mean? So any evidence of like any kind of creature in the space.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Make the information move with reason, and let's see how you do.
Well, I have a 0 to reason, so 7.
I owe you a clue. We are going to see how Mr. Melmoth's protege here in the street does not actually accidentally kill herself. Mr. Melmoth, you put on the Janus mask, and so instead of accidentally opening up her veins, this woman in the tattered jacket is just making cuts with the scissors, looking at you for your approval like this.
I will just gently reach down and take the scissors off her and say, "No, my dear, no. It will bleed sufficiently if you do it on the back of the arm, I'll say, and cut it down there instead."
While that's going on, you will perhaps, out of the corner of your eyes, see on one of the terraces in one of the apartments above you, you will see Mr. Whistler, though you don't know him yet. He is clearly sketching the scene of you and the woman down on the sidewalk. What do you do?
I think for the moment I'll just register that this is happening and make a mental note to see what has resulted from this, but I haven't quite finished with this woman and her companion yet. I'll just give a little nod up to this artist on his balcony.
He'll politely nod back.
Then I'll turn back to the woman and just sort of help her arrange her clothing a bit better so it looks more authentically distressed, and distribute the blood, help her and splatter it a bit more realistically. And so, and do bring your little friend out as well. We need to take a look at his costume as well. It's shocking and not in the right way.
I think this person, also a young woman, though you can tell now because she has the mask off, she comes out and she looks a little embarrassed about the whole thing, but she does say, "Oh, Jessica, you do look much more a fright than you did before."
Indeed, and I'm sure we can make you look distressing as well. I can only assume that you've been doing this for a little while, and bless you for doing so. This place does need livening up. You must have heard from some of the people around here their stories of being attacked by the creature. What is it that you're basing your reenactment here on?
I love it. Before we get too far ahead, do take a condition marked by Mr. Whistler, and also go ahead and roll the information move with presence.
And see whether I can actually pass a presence roll. I was working out the odds. With +3 on presence, I've got a 90% chance of success. And yet I do not. Oh, that's better. That's a 10.
Ooh.
Good. I'll owe you a clue in a bit. If it's okay, I'd like to fast forward this scene, not far from where Mr. Melmoth is, just down the way a little bit, with Mr. Kessler and Miss Innes talking about what just happened.
Yeah, I think she's just soaking wet. Are they sitting on a bench, maybe?
Yeah, he's waving the drawing in the wind, trying to dry that off for her. So this a gentleman caller of yours?
He's just a sailor that's caught sight of me. It's not the first time.
No, I think it's sweet. He was endearing, but he did run his mouth about your other form. I have to say.
Did he see it exactly?
He didn't describe it in detail, but he has his suspicions, and he might be a threat, is what I'm saying. You know how the Hargrave house deals with threats.
Do you? Well,
And not that I'd ever do nothing, you know.
Are you gonna do something?
No, I kind of got my hands full right now with my own situation. He points to the badge.
right. I didn't know you were a detective.
I'm not. This fella from back home came looking for me, and we kind of swapped outfits for a while so that I could, see what exactly he's doing here.
You swapped outfits so you could know what he was doing. Why he didn't tell you?
Well, technically, he's in a robe in my hotel room, but I'm borrowing his outfit because I want to find out why he's really here. Because I'm sure there's a bounty on me, but it's not enough to bring someone over to London.
Oh, he was looking for you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't interrupt it, but I could help. Maybe.
Yeah, if you have any ideas, I was just kind of walking around seeing who took notice of me, and that's where I met that Lynn fella.
Did you do something that would cause him to look for you?
Yeah, see, it's my father. He sent him out here to get me. My father can be a very influential man.
You're from very far away. Is that somewhere you can't go back to easily?
It's not somewhere I'd want to go back to be honest.
Yeah, I'll trigger the vulnerable move. Why not? It seems like we're doing it anyway. This is like a public bath.
Yeah, you were publicly in the water.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I feel like that counts. Yeah.
Public baths. Amazing.
Do you not miss your family?
Parts of it, I suppose, but my daddy kind of runs the whole thing, so if you're on the outs with him, you're out with the whole family. That's kind of how it works. I'll go back someday, I'm sure, but not with this guy. Tapping the badge strangely.
Right. No, you want to go by choice, right?
Yeah.
You and I, we seem to have a lot in common. I also can't go back so easily right now. And it feels like they're very far away, and except that I miss them very much, but this sailor fellow, do you think he's worth trusting?
Like I said, he's kind of sweet, but I don't think I would trust him, so to speak. You could spend time with him, but I wouldn't tell him any more secrets.
I notice you have scars, kind of like mine. Mine have all come from trusting people like him.
Yeah, I think we are quite a bit alike, Ms. Ennis.
Yours let me know that, I guess, humans also hurt their own kind, too.
Yeah, humans will hurt just about anything, in my experience.
Well, maybe he'll be different. She holds the drawing.
It's really good.
It's sweet.
Do you want a clear mark by the sailor?
I don't know.
He sketched her.
At the very least, you all will be able to stumble onto a clue, or
Okay.
you can invite Mr. Kessler to ask you a question about your past, Miss Ennis.
You know what? I feel like we never do it. Let's do that. I know we need clues, but out of not being a hardcore gamer, let's do I'll invite you to ask a question of the past.
Well, you seem keen to get back to your family, but you can't do it because of the pelt thing you told us about, I assume. Who is it in your family that you're looking to get back to, exactly?
Well, my parents are still there. But we have a very large family, you see. It used to be larger, but brothers, sisters, my parents, but the spirits of our ancestors as well are still in the oceans. They never really go away, except when I'm not in the waters.
And where is it that they reside? They just float all about, or are they off these waters?
Mainly off Oscary Island.
I'm American, so I'll just nod along.
It's further north. Near to what they call, Scotland.
Right, of course it is. Well, I don't reckon I have a whole lot of good memories, so is there something in particular that you miss? That you used to do with your family?
Collecting pearls. I like to collect pearls and then put them in a little pile near the dock because humans get really excited when they see them. And it's like, you just get to see their eyes light up with joy. It's very entertaining, and so we all just watch from under the waters to see what they're drawn to. Very predictable, at times.
Don't take this the wrong way, Miss Ennis, but do you ever stop to think you might be too nice to be with us at Hargrave House?
I'm not trying to be nice. Are you not nice? You've all been kind to me. You've given me a home. You've kept my secret.
I guess it's not that we're not nice. It's just that we have some darker motivations, I think, than you do.
Well, there are other things I might want to.
Thank you for listening to Ain't Slayed Nobody. For ad-free episodes, lots of bonus content, and special programming, please join our wolf pack at patreon.com/ain'tslayed, or subscribe to Ain't Slayed Nobody Plus at Apple Podcasts. Nothing helps the show more than becoming a subscriber. See our show notes for full credits, and help us grow by posting friendly reviews and spreading the word to your friends and followers. Thank you, and good luck out there.